cup competition. The cup is special, and that's the great thing about the Schweppes.
Well, we apologise that we, for some time, lost some sound and had problems. We gather that you're now back in contact with us as Kevin Price restarts for Swansea. 13 minutes gone and just a point separating the two sides, and just the odd readjustment from Sean McGaughey, but really is the cultured left foot of his, the young Scotsman.
Very impressive player. He adds a lot to Pontypool's back division. Fine tactical kicker as well.
Clive Knowling wanting some light between the two lines. Really is the pressure area, the line out. Pontypool needing to spoil opposition ball as James and Arnold combine expertly. Jones as well, and Price then, well, that might be too far, and the wind obviously carrying that. And Adwell Parry offered the chance of the step back over the dead ball line, and Price won't be all that pleased with that. Needed more height, less distance. The traditional restart from Adwell Parry. It's an attempt to get his forwards, and a successful attempt at that as Neil Jones yet again. They obviously have practiced that. He works so well. Gary Jonathan looking for an offside decision, and David Phillips, well, making problems, but he'll get a second bite at that. Good to see an outside half showing coolness and wanting to beat opponents. He just had a heavy in the end, but offered the second chance. As Adwell Parry this time further punishes Swansea. Richard Goody, the middle-line target for Pontypool, but with Swansea's advantage, he'll be up against Paul Arnold, and it's Arnold that wins it, not cleanly though, and Gary Jenkins, so quick through the Pontypool hooker, really is a busy player around the fringes.
I played with Gary Jenkins, the charity match, outstanding player, could be a dark horse for the Welsh tour to Australia.
And of course, that's one of the other rewards here today, not just a place in the Schweppes Cup final, but a place on that Wales tour to Australia. It's just a little untidily done, and Clive Knowling wants them out 15 metres, and with the line out not being profitable, we'll try a scrum. So the far stand, a pleasant sight. So many questions posed about the support here, but obviously people are interested, and the sunshine probably has brought them out as well. And this match promises so much. It started at a cracking pace, and let's hope that they go on at this pace. But there, again, it's the Swansea scrum, and all sorts of pressure.
Do you know, that was great refereeing by Clive Knowling. Just before that scrum went down, he went to both front rows and said, hang on, there's a touch just the other side there, watching you on that blind side. So he wasn't letting him get away with anything.
What it means is that Pontypool now have this chance of taking the lead for the first time in the game. Really, they were shaken by that early Swansea onslaught, taken something by surprise, but now things have settled. Adwell Parry with a successful kick here can offer Pontypool a 2-point advantage. And that is well struck from full back, but just the fraction underneath the cross path. Robert Jones, well, Mark Titley does look just slightly disappointed underneath the goalpost. The scissors was on. He made the off-the-ball running. Captain Robert Jones deciding that the safety-first tactic was the better one, quickly taken by Pontypool. Goody can't quite control it. It really is being knocked from one to the other. No real control. But Knowling decides that the knock-on was the first offence. The advantage, Swansea's.
I think that last penalty attempt by Parry showed us the strength of the wind. He's a huge kicker, but he barely got just underneath the course.
Well, that not done to Clive Knowling's satisfaction. Robert Jones again. This time that is a better Swansea scrum. Dean Oswald so quick to detach from the back. Robert Jones, that's remarkable work by Parry, and he can set off on a run as well. Kerry Jonathan just slightly isolated, and Swansea take advantage, expertly put back by Jonathan. The advantage being played as Swansea though drive it on, they claw it back. Can they control it though? Robert Jones is poised for it. The quick hands offers Stuart Parfit the chance to release Mark Titley. The pass though, the fraction forward denying Titley and Swansea the chance to counter-attack. So Swansea's eagerness to keep the ball to hand. Obvious there, Jones the swiftest of scrum halves, and Parfit as well, so keen to support. The Swansea 10-metre line in view, and lots of efforts being made at that scrum as Phillips, and that is good running as Lewis gets just a little space. Pontypool with both wings far side of the field, needing to win quick possession. Didn't emerge though, and indeed the advantage lost through a knock-on.
Nice to see Pontypool varying the game though. I expected the high Gary Owen, but a good angled run by Bob Lewis, unfortunately lost the ball.
Well, the spaces, the choices are endless here for Robert Jones and Anthony Clement, standing in the outside half position. Parry just guides it gently back inside his own 22, and that's sufficient just to slow down Swansea's progress. It really is the most pleasant of sunny afternoons here, and who would have thought that after yesterday's storms. Billy James in no hurry to get things going, side with a point advantage. Moriarty though offers Dean Oswald the channel down the middle, and offer that to a New Zealander, and you pay the price. Jonathan has a chance here to release Phillips. Was there offside in midfield? That kick, well, White and Blenheim Taylor, and indeed back we come to midfield, because the Swansea centres were in an offside position.
I thought he'd missed that, Clive Norlin, but there was a man offside. He waited for the advantage again. That's excellent refereeing.
No doubt that the standards for the afternoon being set by Clive Lawling, so highly regarded on the international level as a referee. Sean McGaughey's kick, not over ambitious, but again it'll satisfy his captain Chris Hewish in that it makes the necessary progress towards that Swansea goal line.
Interesting now that Arnold's going to jump at the front of the line, and Dickie Moriarty jumping in the middle, changing their men continually.
And James, expertly done, but Robert Jones stepping the wrong way in, going back towards Pontypool forward as Jonathan, but that was nudged forward. And it's those little things that are frustrating Pontypool at the moment, when really things are looking so promising for them. The ball not quite, and that's the comforting pat on the head from Vince Davis for Kerry Jonathan. Just a little uncertainty from the scrum half at the moment. This Swansea scrum has to hold its ground. Indeed, that Jones pass was superbly delivered. Price looking for space to exploit. White. Swansea just a little slow in supporting Blenheim Taylor, and indeed it offers, well, the slightest of nudges from Anthony Clement, spotted by Clive Norling. And when the Swansea fullback thought that he had the clearest of channels there, the whistle frustrates him. With the scrum in this position, it won't be allowed to continue because Clive Norling will want them to reset. And again, he points to the fact that they are being watched from both sides. David Joseph on the far side for Neath, for Swansea rather, formerly of Neath, and Lyndon Musto for Pontypool. That Jonathan kick, not quite staying on the field of play, so the advantage slightly wasted. 7 at the back is Vince Davis for Pontypool. 6 for Swansea is Richard Moriarty, the try scorer, as Webster scored the try. Moriarty won the line out. The halfway line, but again the front rows collapse, and that is an area that Mr. Norling will have to address quite quickly, and indeed will stay on this side just to watch Andrew Dibble and Keith Colclough, and that means that this time there's a better platform for Stuart Davis on which to drive. Reynolds quick there, but it's not all that well controlled, although on the retreat Swansea able to reclaim it, and Robert Jones then able to test Adwell Parry. Parry catches, but he's outside his 22, well recovered from the full-back. Can he launch an attack from here? The support is there. What good running, magical running from Parry, and sets it back and offers Jonathan the chance as Phillips, McGaughey. Well, was that a wasted chance perhaps, although Hansen able to clear and take on Titley and offer his forwards a chance to set that up. Vince Davis there, just a little slow in being supported. Hewish on the ground. It was driven in on the ground by Hewish, and the advantage lost.
Magnificent play by Parry, beating man after man after taking that outside his 22. The full-back's very adventurous, he's always looking to counter-attack, and he's saved Pontypool there. When he was down, he won good ball for the backs to use.
And in going down, Adwell Parry has obviously received a little injury, but it's having set up the game, Phil Bennett, as the contrast in styles, it hasn't developed like that because the opposition are doing the unexpected.
Yes, Pontypool these days have faith in their backs. They've got some good players, especially McGaughey in the centre. He's a good runner, but Swansea also now have renewed faith in their forwards, so they're coming back to strength. They believe their back row can win the game. Webster, Reynolds and Davis, they'll provide all the dynamic bursts down the centre, and then Arnold and Moriarty to win the quality ball, and they won't risk it unless it is 100% certain ball.
And the experienced Richard Moriarty offering the youngsters, his young charges around him, a word of advice on how to take on Pontypool.
I think if they kick badly to this fella, he's such a good counter-attacker. He's a good player, Adwell Parry, but the one thing about Dick Moriarty, he's an experienced man, but occasionally he's tapped himself on a bad ball to Robert Jones.
Adwell Parry restored to fitness. Clive Norling points to the position from which the penalty is to be taken, and a word of advice for Anthony Clement. This will be the high up and under straight at Adwell Parry. What a good tactic that, straight from an injury. The man will be tested, but David Phillips saves him. The outside halves will to cover for that, but what good captaincy, that excellent captaincy from Robert Jones.
That was marvellous football by both teams, simply because Robert Jones said to Clement, stick one eye to Parry, let's test him, but also David Phillips took the responsibility, said no, leave it to me, and he saved Parry the hide-in. Good play by both sides.
Paul Arnold now the number 2 jumper, Richard Moriarty the middle line jumper. Was it cleaned? It wasn't. It was nudged forward. So what a reputation those three men have to live up to. Musto, Jenkins and Dibble. Pontypool front rows make for legends. As Jonathan and Adwell Parry again able to combine, and obviously that front row standing its ground, offering the half-backs or the scrum half and full-back then the perfect platform. Still Swansea's pressure then. The Pontypool 22 in view. And Moriarty shouting the signals. And winning possession, supported by Alan Reynolds. But it's not coming quickly enough for Swansea. They'll want the quick ball and exploit Jones's hands and the outside backs is running. Stuart Davis, some injury doubts surrounding him prior to the match, but obviously fully recovered and a full part in Swansea's first try. Wasn't attached to the scrum on that occasion. This time plants himself firmly to lock the scrum, and indeed that is a good Swansea scrum. Able to drive on Pontypool, stay square, keep the pressure. That is excellent scrummaging, and put Swansea to do that to Pontypool will give them a tremendous boost.
That was marvellous scrummaging by Swansea. Dean Oswald had broke, looking for the movement on the blind side, so they were a forward short. By the time he'd gone back in, the momentum was going forward. Excellent play by the Swansea pack.
Kevin Price has that view of the goalposts. Empty spaces on the open terracing, really people looking for the comfort and the warmth of the stands. Kevin Price will be able to see that scoreboard straight in front of him, and it's his responsibility to change it. And just a little breeze, and interesting that Kevin Price's last big occasion was at Twickenham in the final of the Universities Athletic Union Championship. He played out at half for Cardiff, who won the trophy, so big game at Twickenham, and then a fortnight later a big game at the National Stadium. Price, this chance of 3 points for Swansea, and you can't kick penalties with more assurance, with greater authority than that. And Kevin Price eases his Swansea all-white side into a 4-point advantage. So the gamble for Swansea in choosing the young and inexperienced Price over the ex-international and experienced Malcolm Dacey proving fruitful at this point in time. Just 10 minutes remaining of the first half as Arwell Parry places that perfectly. Billy James recovers off Paul Arnold. That's well done by the hooker. Saved all sorts of problems for Swansea there. And that Kevin Price can stand so far away from trouble on the end of that Robert Jones pass. It makes such a difference.
To give credit to Billy James there, because Paul Arnold tapped the ball, tapped it well, but it could have gone anywhere. Billy James sacrificed himself, went on the floor, and he won the good ball, which enabled his out and half to put it 50 metres downfield.
Gary Jenkins finds Neil Jones. Good jumping, good catching, good control by the lock forward. As Jonathan then, but that was offside by Swansea.
I've been quite impressed with Neil Jones. First time for me to see him. He's done well in the line out and taken the kick-offs well.
Gary Jenkins knows one route and one route only. But again, there's just that stutter, although Swansea weren't the 10 metres. Gary Jonathan just having a second look as Jenkins again. And again, it's not 10 metres as Hewish sets up Arwell Parry, the full-back. Such an elusive runner. Paul Arnold in the man to cover that area, a man who played at number 8 for Wales, of course, earlier on in the season, so well used to covering the wide open areas. Andrew Dibble and David Joseph at the front of the line-out, facing one another. And again, Swansea able to deliver Robert Jones the perfect ball. He hasn't found touch though, and that might offer Arwell Parry a chance to counter-attack. Mark Titley will wait, stand his ground, and the complete footballer won't try anything excessive. Has been known to cause the odd flutter, Mark Titley, by doing the unexpected, sometimes the outrageous, but the talent today kept under control. Richard Webster, the only try scorer thus far in the game.
And this is a crucial area again for Pontypool, is the line out. I think they've got to aim for the back. Goody and Oswald right at the rear of the line out.
It might pay them to move Goody further back to get people peeling off the back, but not as yet at least. And Billy James, so eager, perfectly done, swept then majestically by Jones. And Kevin Price, well, if you seek the sanctuary of the 22, you then make sure that the ball goes into touch. That might be the message from his captain to Kevin Price. Mr. Norling, having played the advantage law, now calls him back to a scrum. And Andrew Dibble ready to engage. Keith Colclough.
There's a funny wind this side of the field. It's very deceiving. I wonder will Swansea move the ball for this occasion?
But again, nearly a 20-metre pass, and again, Kevin Price over-ambitious perhaps, and Hansen will have a run. That's interesting. If that bounces kindly, well, Hansen had chosen his spot, and really, it was well executed from the winger.
And that's what I meant by the deceiving win. Twice Price has failed to find touch, and once Robert Jones, and yet again they put themselves under pressure.
And Dibble hoisting an arm just to make sure that Billy James doesn't find it easy. The favoured throw here would be short and flat to his front jumper in such a tight defensive position. But James favouring the lob and paying the price for that. Moriarty denied by Goody, and Jonathan then the chance. Not a drop goal, Robert. That is lovely looping from Phillips off Lewis. McGaughey taken out of the game off the ball, and there's an arm in there, killing second phase. The Swansea arm yielding a penalty and could possibly yield 3 points as well. And
everybody came here this afternoon expecting all the good things to come from the Swansea back division, but isn't there lovely angles by Pontypool? First of all, they win the line out, excellent taking the line out, well clean. Number 4, he's been outstanding so far, Neil Jones, giving good ball back for Hughes, and it's the looping around what causes the problem. There he is, looks as if he's going to do a long pass. Well done, number 10. Hang on, very strong. Ball goes down, the forwards are driving in, hands at the bottom of the deck.
Arwell Parry already successful with 1 penalty. This will again get his side back within 1 point. And from that distance, the fullback can do nothing but succeed. And a tap of encouragement for his captain as well. I'll keep you in the game, you keep us in pressure positions is the message. So there's plenty for this crowd to talk about, cheer about, and obviously turning out in strength to support this first game. And of course there is another one to follow later on this afternoon. Nothing really between them at this point in time, as Price places it, well, just a fraction too far perhaps. And Chris Hewish, well, it's almost inevitable that the flanker, just watch that, just look at the control, the power, the discipline of it all. 20 metres, then on the plate, then the supporting thrust on the blind side. Sean White so eager, short and squat and strong, and that is Pontypool at his best.
Exactly, right out of the Ray Prosser, the Cobner, the Perkins, Bobby Windsor draw, all those forwards, they're expert at that. 25-30 metres, marvellous play.
Thrust and counter-thrust is the pattern thus far. Billy James, Moriarty the early jump, but Stuart Davis the catch and the drive for David Joseph. Robert Jones poised, Billy James looking for a way of releasing that ball for his scrum half, and indeed the daintiest of little reverse passes from the hooker. Chance then, Kevin Hopkins, space for Anthony Clement, the full-back steps past so easily, and this, well, that is good covering from Arwell Parry. That must frustrate Mark Titley, normally the expert at that, but what good rugby, both sides yet again.
At last, Swansea show they can't move the ball, and it's the miss passing in midfield. There's the long miss pass, and Anthony Clem is lightning. Stepped inside his man, and he draws the man perfectly. I thought he might have come off his right foot, Titley, but well charged down, Parry.
Arnold, well, can only offer Dean Reynolds, Dean Oswald rather. Again, there's no stopping unless you pin them down and hold them. There is no stopping them, and it really is a succession of battering ram drives after battering ram drive, as Jonathan perfectly timed. What a good tackle though by Alan Reynolds on Hewish. Uncompromising stuff. The stutter again from Jonathan, not quite releasing it quickly enough, and that, although it's well held up by Vince Davis, but not quite quickly enough to limit.
But that saps the energy, driving in, sucking in men after men, making midfield players tackle, and that's about Oswald and Hewish are at their very best.
Alan Reynolds just running repairs.
I think that they've had a slight problem, Pontypool, has been when they've won that ball. Jonathan struggled at times with his hands. Again, tremendous driving. Jonathan, unluckily there, he was tripped. Fair play to the scrum half. Very small play, but very strong. Stayed on his feet, waited for the back row sport to come round. And there's we're trying to get the ball back, but good robbing work again done by Swansea.
The advantage still with Jonathan. Pontypool scrum half. Much travelled. Carry Jonathan, having played for Newport, Pontypridd. But it's not an easy role to fill at Pontypool, moving into a position so dominated by David Bishop for so many years. The Holdings refereeing really seems to have eyes everywhere, but a chance here then, a chance for McGaughey to set up Lewis. The centre is just so strong as well, a flanker normally, and showing that there is a direct route in midfield as well. Strong man, and again taking the game to Swansea.
They're full of confidence, the centre, no gaps there really, but he's so strong, made the half gap and got the pass, and that was important. Excellent strength by the centre.
And Chris Hewish in amongst his forwards. A word of advice. And that's interesting. Clayton Thomas, the touch judge on that side, quiet word with his the referee, Clive Norling. So important, they see it as a team effort, Phil Bennett.
Well, yes, when you've heard of Pierre, Norling and Bevan doing so well at international level this year, Norling is bringing in his two touches. He's saying, keep an eye on the scrums, I'll watch one side, you watch the other. That's good teamwork.
The Swansea 22. And a little unpleasantness in the front row, but nothing overzealous. Just there'll be words exchanged. Not complimentary, to say the least. As, just look at the angling of Andrew Dibble on Keith Colclough, destroys that scrum and makes it impossible for Swansea to cream. Good ball.
Yes, he was driving inwards there, putting pressure on Colclough. The scrum was in all sorts of trouble, going right to the left.
Jones this time offered a far better platform, and no doubting Price's intention, just needs the safety of the touchline. The advantage with Pontypool, and this time they do win, but Webster lightning quick on that. Now the ball has to be released quickly if possible, as Price and Parfitt, but Parfitt spots the space behind Hansen, and that is well placed from the centre, and that will offer his forwards so much hope. They might have been struggling at the end of the first half, but Clive Norling draws it to a close on that encouraging note for Swansea. And really it has been an intriguing contest, with a half-time score standing at Pontypool 6, Swansea 7. So Phil Bennett, with 40 minutes to go, what can you read into that?
Well, I felt that Swansea went off like a train. They dominated the scrums, they were good in the line-out, and the back row were dominating things. Stuart Davis was putting Webster and Reynolds into gaps. But I think Pontypool now have come a little bit more back into the game. But you see, it's crucial that Arna and the two second rows there, 4 and 5, they've got to win cleaner line-out ball for Robert Jones to dictate. I think they've got the slight advantage of pace behind the scrums, but they haven't won that really clean ball. But it's a great contest, it can go either way. But let's not forget that probably Pontypool played into a strong win. I don't think they'll be too unhappy, 7 points to 6 down.
And Chris Hewish there, what words of advice can he have for his forwards?
Well, Terry Holmes is alongside us here on the commentary balcony while the tannoy system goes on behind us. But it was Swansea who started the scoring there with that Richard Webster try, Terry.
Yes, a very good start for Swansea. They had a back row move. Stuart Davis broke, give the ball to Webster. Here he goes, Stuart Davis into Webster, who shows tremendous strength and pace to score. I think Pontypool a bit disappointed with the defence here, but a great try for Richard Webster, who's back in true form. Here it comes again, Robert Jones putting the ball in. A quick strike, that's the key of this move, is the quick strike, channel one ball, and it gets the movement going very quick. And a tremendous strength there by Richard Webster, throwing an opponent over, and great strength and pace to get over and score a very good try for Swansea.
What an enjoyable game though, Terry.
Yeah, it's very good, I think. Swansea started off very well and scoring that early try, but they've gone back in their shell a little bit, and Pontypool forwards have certainly taken the game to them. Dean Oswald's having a superb game at number 8, and he's leading a lot of charges. 7-6 half-time, superbly balanced for the next 40 minutes.
Yes, Phil Bennett said that Pontypool, Swansea went out like a train. Are they going to be able to keep that impetus?
Yeah, I think the next score is vital. Whoever scores the next time could take the initiative, and the next score is going to be vital for either side, so it'll be interesting to see. But the wind's picking up a bit now, so it could be a lot more tactical than it has been. OK,
Terry, thanks very much. Well, here we go for the second half then. Pontypool trailing by 7 points to 6. Let's rejoin Phil Bennett and Lynn Davis.
So 40 minutes to decide who makes it to this year's Schweppes Cup final. Either Pontypool or Swansea can book that first place, and then we'll stand and watch and see whether it's Llanelli underneath the opponents.
Let's see where Alwyn Parry puts this kick, see how much wind he's got behind him.
Knowling is ready, so is Alwyn Parry. Pontypool restart the match, and no doubting the tactic, the wind slightly in his favour, able to reach the dead ball line, and the restart on the 22, the pressure already on Swansea as Anthony Clement had thoughts of finding space, and the quick restart. Problem, well, that's interesting for Price. He's found space. Excellent initiative from the outside half. Have they creamed it? They have. Perfect ball for Robert Jones. Then Clement in the supporting role, and the kick there. Well, if Swansea could have wished for a good start, it wouldn't have been better than that. That's perfectly done, and so much initiative shown by the outside half.
Well, he's a youngster. He hasn't played many games at this level, Kevin Price, but he showed all the confidence in the world there. Lovely little drop out. Webster did well, and Swansea are back on the Pontypool 10 metre. Well played, Kevin Price.
Richard Moriarty at 2 for Swansea. Tried to spoil. So is Arnold in the middle, indeed succeeds, although only offers Andrew Dibble the chance to wedge in, claim the ball, set up the drive. It's on its way. Jonathan will look to the box area, or at least the blind. So nippy, the scrum half, really no room there at all, but still squeezed his way through, offered Oswald the chance to reclaim it. It's there for Vince Davis as a scrum half. Well, that's just a little awkward, that. Still, Sean White showed tremendous strength, but he won't thank Vince Davis for that pass. There was no momentum there, and all it's done is just push things across field, just behind the advantage line, but somehow they hold their ground and retain the advantage.
Sean White did well there. He's not a big man, but he went into the midfield, was gobbled up by 2 or 3 white jerseys, but strong enough to hold his ground and wait for his forwards to come around and support him.
David Joseph, veteran loosehead, who's much travelled. Aberavon, Neath, and now Swansea. And will he get to a final with Swansea? That's the question. Down on one knee. Still, Swansea trying to spoil that possession. Oswald saves it though. Again, so essential to get over the advantage line, set up the forwards driving on, and again Jonathan able to have a look first of all, then decide that the better option was the kick upfield, and so well placed, but Clement so easily past White, so determined as well, and then straight at Dean Oswald. No fears at all in Anthony Clement's mind.
Yes, the wind is very strong, gusty here. He didn't want to risk a kick. He's so light on his feet, blistering pace. It's a neat kick, but look how he left the man for dead. Sean White had no hope. He's so quick, Clement. Neat sidestep, but forced into touch.
Arnold, but what delivery. Really, Hewish was saying thank you all the way from the moment that